Radharani for so kindly inviting us to their home to have this program. Just before coming to the stage, Supreme Krishna came and he invited us, and I mentioned that he has some very special potency, because during the period of COVID, I have not been doing any programs, and only this is the second time I've gone outside for a program, and the first time I went outside is when his children got married. So he has some special attracting Shakti. We're very thankful to you and your good wife for having us in your home this evening and bringing your friends together so we could have this program on Krishna consciousness. I've come with my friends from Vrindavan, and we're meeting new friends here from different places. This is Akinchana Krishnadas, and this is Yogendra, and this is Shiv Charan, and Parthasarati, and Ananda Murti, and this is Brandon, and then we have Ramai Pandit, and Rati, and Gaurangi, and Vrindarani, and we have Nike over here. We have Denishta Mataji and Prema Manjari. You got initiated. Oh, nice. We're all happy to be here with you. All of us have been practicing this Krishna consciousness for some time. Some of the younger ones that you see here, and the young ladies here, they were born in families that were practicing Krishna consciousness. And some of us had the good fortune to come in contact with Krishna consciousness at different stages in our life. I think Akinchana has been practicing Krishna consciousness now for about 20 years, or 25 years he's been practicing. And Rati Manjari here, she's been practicing for about 25 years. And Denishta Mataji and Ramai, they've been practicing, it seems, forever. I first traveled to Russia in 1992, and maybe I met them on one of those first visits to Russia. Krishna consciousness is a very wonderful thing because it cleanses the heart. And when the heart is cleansed, and when the mind is, when the mind becomes like the still water on a pond, or when the mind becomes very still and peaceful like a candle in a windless place, then we find the real joy from within. And that joy is understanding who we are and what is our relationship with Krishna. So we'll speak a little more later, but now we'd like to just chant for a few minutes. And if you know the words of the Hare Krishna mantra, please join us in chanting. And we've all come here together, and so we're all friends over here. We don't have to worry. Just chant and and become absorbed in the sounds of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A little bit louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. With your heart, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey!
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Everybody join me.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Praise the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everybody, please join. Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, everyone. Some of you have arrived during the kirtan. We'd like to welcome you all and thank you for taking your valuable time for coming here to participate in this Krishna conscious program at Prem Krishna Prabhu's house. I mentioned before that due to my age, I've been quite careful during the pandemic, and I have not been attending public kirtans so much. And it has been a change of a lifestyle, because prior to the pandemic, I was constantly traveling around the world with my friends, and we would be having programs speaking about Krishna consciousness and the chanting of the Hare Krishna maha-mantra for the upliftment of people in this world practically all the time. Almost it was like a different continent every week, going and teaching people and chanting. And then this pandemic came upon us. And by the grace of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and by the grace of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna, I was in Sri Vrindavan Dham when the pandemic began and the lockdown began. And I've been able to spend practically a year now in the transcendental atmosphere of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And this is only the second time I've come for public kirtan. I had a few kirtans, private kirtans at home, and we did a few kirtans online. But this is the second time I've come to join friends and chant Hare Krishna. And when we finished I turned to Kinshana and I turned to Yogi and I said, oh, this is such a nice thing. Such a wonderful thing to do. And we only sang now for about 20 or 30 minutes. Generally, we cannot understand the meaning of having kirtan in 30 minutes. Generally, when we have kirtan, it's for 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, or sometimes when we become very absorbed in kirtan, we can go on for 12 hours or so, or longer. Very refreshing to the soul to be able to chant the holy names in association of like-minded people, and for us to be able to hear the beautiful sound of Krishna's holy name. One of our great teachers, spiritual master, Acharya, who appeared in this world roughly 500 years ago, was named Rupa Goswami. He was one of the 6 chief disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after he joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Rupa Goswami and his elder brother Sanatan Goswami to Vrindavan. And at that time, 500 years ago, Vrindavan, practically speaking, was just a vacant place. Recently, I heard my spiritual master speaking. He said Vrindavan was just a field. Now we know that Mathura has always been a prominent city. And through history, Mathura has always been prominent, but Vrindavan was forgotten. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent these Goswamis to Vrindavan to rediscover the places where Krishna had played in Vrindavan and where Krishna had performed his leelas in Vrindavan. And he also gave them responsibility to write books about bhakti. And all of you understand what is bhakti yoga. It is the yoga of devotional love. So Rupa Goswami, he lived in Vrindavan and he wrote many hundreds of thousands of beautiful shlokas of Sanskrit poetry, glorifying Krishna and the process of bhakti and the name of Krishna. And he wrote one verse, which I remember when we chant like this. And it is a verse that begins with a question. In amazement, he is saying, how much nectar is contained in the two syllables Krishna? How much amrita, how much eternal joy is contained in the two syllables Krishna? Now, when he is speaking of maybe Prabhuji can, okay. Hare Krishna. When we're speaking of this spiritual joy or amrita, we are meaning a transcendental feeling that is of the same nature as Krishna. And the ancient texts from India explain that Krishna's nature is Sat Chit Ananda. He's eternal, he is full of knowledge, and he's everlastingly full of joy. Everlastingly full of joy. So that's something which is different than what we in society look for today. In society, we see that people are looking for something which is very quick. We see that people are looking for pleasure that comes, but then it goes away. We all feel that, well, I can't say it any longer. We have these beautiful young people sitting here. Everybody wishes to relish that beauty and pleasure of their youth, but it goes away. Like this young boy behind me, Yogi. He's like our handsome Bollywood movie star. And his brother Ananda is 23-year-old boy. And I tried to convince him, yes, one time I was 23 also, look what happened. Probably not so beautiful like him, but still, once I was 23. The youth trying to find lasting joy in the wealth, but everybody knows that the wealth is so hard to come by and can go away so quickly. Or if you have karma for wealth, then the wealth will come to you, but you will not be able to hold on to it. Like my father, he was in the entertainment industry, and he was a very wealthy man. But when he was dying from cancer, I went to see him a long time ago. And he told me, son, So much wealth came to me in my life. He said, so much fame came to me in my life. So much recognition and high position came to me in my life. He said, now it's like me trying to hold water in my hands. He said, it's all running through my fingers. He said, I can't hold on to it. I said, yes, Dad. Temporary. So the poet, he said, how much nectar is contained in the two syllables, Krishna. When I hear Krishna, when that sound vibration passes my ears, immediately I wish to have 1 million ears. When I vibrate the sound Krishna, immediately it's so sweet, I wish to have 1 million tongues. And when that sound vibration goes deep into the innermost recesses of my heart, when it touches my soul, he said that sound vibration dances in my heart and my mind loses its contact with everything of this world. So much nectar only in Krishna. Like we have this young girl here in the front, Radharani, and I've known her since she was a baby. She is such a beautiful dancer. She's a master of Odissi dance. I don't know if any of you have ever seen her in a program, but she's actually a master of Odissi dance. And when she dances, and when Krishna's name dances in your heart, this is what I've been looking for. So this chanting is such a wonderful thing. And all of you know Bhagavad Gita. And all of you have probably read and studied Bhagavad Gita. And in chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Kṛṣṇa speaks to his Shishya Arjuna about transcendental knowledge. How people, simple people like us, who have positions in this world, and jobs in this world, and families in this world, how we can attain the transcendental knowledge of God and rise to the spiritual platform. He was speaking to Arjuna. Arjuna was not a small man. Arjuna was the high roller of that age. He was a prince. He was a warrior. He was loved throughout the world. And he told Arjuna something interesting. And probably all of you know this verse. He said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavani juge juge. So what does Krishna instruct in that verse? Krishna, he tells Arjuna, he says, my dear friend Arjuna, I descend from my abode in Golokdam, and I come into this world age after age. And I come here for three purposes. The first purpose is paritranaya sadhunam. I come here to protect people who are naturally following principles of Dharma. And then he says, Vinashaya chaduskritam. I also come into this world to chastise the miscreant people. And since we have been young, we have heard how the Lord came as Ram and he chastised Ravan, and how the Lord appeared in his half-man, half-lion form, Narasingha, and he chastised Hiranyakasipu. And he appeared as Lord Varaha, the great boar. His appearance day was 2 days ago, I think. Yesterday, only yesterday. Varaha appeared within this world, and he picked up the earth from the bottom of the ocean of devastation, and he held the earth on his tusks. I was reading Jaidev Goswami's Gita Govinda yesterday, and the first song that Jaidev sings or writes in Gita Govinda is the Dasavatar Stotram, and he glorifies Varahadev. And in his verse he says, just like sometime we see the full moon, and on the beautiful full moon we can see like a tiny black spot. Is it a full moon? Yes. Just say. So he said, on the full moon, sometimes we see tiny spot and it increases the beauty. And he said, Varaha was so big and his tusks were so white that the earth planet just looked like one of those tiny spots on the moon. That's how big he was. And then he chastised the Rakshasa Hiranyaksha. So, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatuskritam. And then he says, Dharma samstapanartaya. And he says, I re-establish the eternal principles of Dharma. I come to teach people how they can live a natural, whole, fulfilling life in harmony with the laws of nature which have been created by myself, so people will be peaceful and satisfied. And in that peaceful and satisfied state, they can go towards the actual goal of life, which is self-realization. Dharma samstapanartaya. Sambhavani yuge yuge. I do it age after age, age after age. So we know 5,000 years ago, he came in his avatar, or he came in his original form as Sri Krishna. The original form of the one who has created everything. He's a beautiful, youthful cowherd boy who lives in a place called Goloka. People have so many different conceptions of what God is. In the West, people think God is an old man who has a long beard and carries a weight on his shoulder. And here in our Dharmic India, sometimes people have the understanding of Rama avatar or so many different avatars. But his original form is cowherd boy. And 5,000 years ago, he came here, and he came with his brother Baldev, Krishna and Balaram. And I'm looking just here and I'm seeing such a beautiful, big photo of Krishna and Balaram. Pardon? Where? That's Krishna and Balaram. Yeah. Yogi, he's always saying Radhe Shyam. So even if Yogi is looking at a monkey in Vrindavan, he sees only Radhe Shyam. 5,000 years ago, he came as Krishna and Balaram. He came as Krishna and he was accompanied by his brother Balaram. And when he came, Parittanaya Sadhunam, he protected his pious family, Vinashaya Chaduskritam, Kamsa, Jarasandha, so many others. It's not mythology, it is real. It is not mythology, it is real. And when he came, he was on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and that's not mythology, that's real. And he spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And in his youth, he played with his friends in Vrindavan. He loved his mother and father, Jasoda and Nanda. He loved his boyfriend, Sridham Subal. He loved the cows in Vrindavan. Krishna's much better than me. He loved the monkeys in Vrindavan. And Krishna, he danced with the girls of Vrindavan. And the transcendental spirit of exchange, a pure and selfless loving devotion. And when he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he gave all these lessons on Dharma. And then in the end of the Bhagavad Gita, he said, Sarva dharmam parityagya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishami nasucha. He said, my dear Arjuna, I've given you so many instructions. He said, but now I will give you the real test of your faith, just to see how faithful you are. He said, give up all the other different dharmas, and give up yoga, and give up jnana. Give up yoga and jnana, and give up mysticism. And Arjuna, just give your heart to me in love. I am not interested in your mystic powers. I am not interested in your karma kanda. I am not interested in your knowledge. All I want, Arjuna, is your love. Please give your heart to me in love. This is the highest dharma. He said, if you surrender to me in this way, aham tam sarva papebhyo, I will take all your pap karma. And I think, because we're all sitting here tonight, we're all reasonably honest people, and we know that all of us, we have things inside of our heart that we surely wish weren't there. But Krishna says, if you surrender to me, I will take all of that. And then he says, Aham tam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishami. And then I give you liberation and love. I give you pure bhakti. And he concludes by saying, Ma suchaha. Do not fear. Generally, we're fearful to surrender to God because we think that we're going to lose something. But my dear friends, when you surrender your everything to Krishna, you will receive the greatest gift, and that is that Krishna will give himself to you. And Krishna will give you his love. Not the temporary self-serving love of this world, but he will give you that eternal ananda and that eternal love. So that was the last yuga. And now we have a new yuga. It's actually not so new. It's been going on for 5,000 years now. The moment that Krishna left this earth and went back to his abode, a new age started called Kali Yuga. All of you have heard Kali Yuga. It is the final chapter of the 4 Yuga cycles. It is the age of hypocrisy, it's the age of quarrel, it's the age of deceit, it's not an auspicious age. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad, explains Manda Sumanda Mateo Mandavagya Hupadruta, that everybody who is living in Kali Yuga, they have very short lives, and they're lazy, and they're misguided. And the worst problem is that with the intelligence that they've been given by God, they wish to use that intelligence only for solving the material problem and not using their intelligence for self-realization. So people go on making plan after plan after plan to increase the material situation. But as my dear dying father told me, it's just running through my fingers, I can't hold on. So that's Kali Yuga. It's not a good time. Of course, 50 years ago when I came to India, we didn't have places like this in Noida. We didn't have flyovers in Delhi like they have now. We had Padminis and ambassadors. Now, look how it shines. But it's temporary. And Krishna says that I come age after age, and he has come in this age also. Just as Krishna and Balaram came in the last age, in this age he has come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. He has come as a devotee of Krishna to teach all of us how to approach him in this age. And the method of approach that he has given in this age is not karma, it's not gyan, it's not yoga, but he has given us the process of Harinam Sankirtan, chanting the holy names of the Lord, like we did in the beginning of the program, chanting Hare Krishna. In the great Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajnaih sankirtana-prayair jijantihi sumeda shaha. He said, he is come, he will come in Kali Yuga. Krishna Varnam, he will be the same Varna, he will be the same quality as Krishna in Dwapara Yuga, but Tvisa Krishnam, he will not be black. He'll be gold. Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangapangastra Parshadam. And just like in Dwapara Yuga, he came with Balaram, and he came with so many friends. In Kali Yuga, he will come with his friends also. He came with his Balaram, became Nitai, Nityananda. And my dear friends, today is the birthday of Nityananda. Nityananda appeared in this world 540 years ago today. And if you go to Bengal, are any of you Bengalis by chance, or just all from the north? And Bengal is just like if you come to Vrindavan, we have one Bengali here. He was born in Vrindavan. If you go to Vrindavan, how do people greet you? They go, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. If you go to Bengal, they greet you, yajnaih, yajnaih, yajnaih. So today is Nityananda's birthday. So everybody put your hands in the air. And everybody repeat, yajnaih, yajnaih, yajnaih. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they came to distribute transcendental, eternal love of Godhead through the process of chanting Hare Krishna maha-mantra. It is a very powerful and it is a very wonderful process. If you absorb yourself in the chanting of the Hare Krishna maha-mantra, your heart will change. Now we have calm, and we have krodh, and we have lobh, and we have matsarya, and we have mad, and we have all of these different qualities within our hearts. Qualities that we're not proud of. None of us are proud when we become angry. None of us are proud when we become lusty. None of us are proud when we catch ourselves having this greedy mentality. Let me get more, let me get more, let me get more. But simply by absorbing yourself in the sound of Krishna's name, which is non-different from Sri Krishna, then Sri Krishna, by his grace, he removes these qualities from your heart. This is the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. This is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And please just think, you may say, but we're all doing okay. Why do we need to change something? But I will say, my dear friends, in the past year, 215 million people around the world have died from COVID-19. Something like 111 million people throughout the world at this moment are suffering because of COVID-19. The world economy was turned upside down. So many places in the world, children have not been in school for an entire year. New mutations of this virus are coming, and economies are in lockdown. Please do not say, "Chalte hai, everything is okay," because it's not. We can't be foolish and say that. We can't be like the ostrich that keeps its head in the sand when a problem is coming. And even if there were not COVID-19, each and every one of us will be called by death. So this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda were so merciful. They wanted everybody to wake up. They wanted everybody to see the real value of life. They wanted everybody to come to the transcendental platform and reestablish their loving relationship with Krishna simply through this process of chanting Hare Krishna. So I have spoken too much. Like I said in the beginning, I have not been outside. And I'm outside tonight, and it's like the horse just wants to run. But I should restrain myself. I thank you all for being such a attentive and kind and patient audience. I'm a sannyasi, I'm a monk, and in Indian tradition, sannyasis are beggars, and we Gaudiya Vaishnava sannyasis, we wear this thing. And generally, in the ancient times, they would do bhiksha, and they would go to a house, they go Radhe Radhe, and they would beg something. Well, I didn't come here to Noida to beg from you people tonight. Actually, I did. I'm just telling a story. But I didn't come to beg, chapatis. And I didn't come to beg your bank account numbers, or your credit cards, or your wallets, because I know that all of that will go away. I came here to very humbly fall at all of your feet and beg you to begin chanting the Hare Krishna maha-mantra. Each and every one of you, please, make it a part of your daily regime. Just to sit and with a concentrated and fixed mind repeat, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please, this is what I'm begging from you all. Just chant the holy names. And according to your Shakti, share this chanting of the maha-mantra with whoever you can, with your family members, with your relatives, with your business partners. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the instruction, Yari Deki Tarikaha Krishna Upadesh, Amar Upadesh. Everybody that you see and everybody that you speak to, give them Krishna's Upadesh. You are not the body, you're the eternal soul. Awaken that through chanting Hare Krishna. And then he says, Amara Agnaya Guru Tarahana Edesh. In this way you can all become Guru and do the most compassionate welfare work in human society by giving people knowledge of the soul, saving people from the fire of birth and death. Okay, the horse has to go back to the stall. Thank you all very much for being so attentive tonight. Please chant Hare Krishna. And now, in conclusion, we'll have kirtan for a few more minutes. Is that all right? Permitted? Okay, we'll have kirtan for a few more minutes. Everybody please chant. And if you like, jump up and dance, but please don't jump over. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Join the time. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gatir.
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Noida. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Nityananda Trayodashi Mahamahosava ke Nityananda Prabhu ke Nityananda Prabhu ke Nityananda Prabhu ke Jai Gaur Vimanande Jai Gaur Vimanande Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for chanting and dancing. Everybody have a seat for a second and we can relax a bit. So Krishna came in Dwapara Yuga and he taught Gita. And Krishna has come in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's teaching us Harinam Sankirtan. And he has come with Balaram, and Balaram is Nityananda. And one great Vaishnav Kavi has written, Aura kabe nitai chander koruna hoibe samsara pasana mora kavi tuchahabe. He's prayed, when will Nitai Chand, when will the full moon of mercy, Lord Nityananda, bestow his blessings upon me? He states, Samsara basana mora kapitu chahave. When I received the blessings of Nitai, all of my samsara vasana, all of my material desires within the heart will go away, and then we will attain the goal of life, which is prema bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us prema pumarto mahan, that the greatest goal of life is prema. And I think that all of you, at least some of our guests who are a little bit older, you can remember Jagjit Singh singing Sabse Unchi Prema Sagai. I don't know if the youngsters have heard that, but for us oldsters, it was something wonderful. Sabse Unchi Prema Sagai. Prema is what we're looking for. Not just the glitter of this world, we're looking for prema. And the boon of our human life is that we can attain prema if we look for it. So everybody please chant Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. It's been so wonderful for me this evening to be with you all. And I was so happy seeing everybody dancing. All the ladies were dancing so beautifully. And even these shy boys, they got out here and they started dancing also. And because one of the Matajis that I met, one of our lady guests before the program, she told me that she had met Goridas Kirtanya Das, had met him at fitness. You know, he was standing in kirtan and I called him over and I said, Bhaiya, you go to fitness. I said, you either get off the ground or I will break your leg. So even Goridas was dancing in ecstasy. Bhaiya, kya naam? Lakshay was dancing. All these Prabhus were dancing. It's so wonderful. It's much more wonderful than anything else. It's just the most wonderful thing to do. So thank you so much again, Prem Krishna Das and Kunjarani. Thank you so much for sharing your home this evening and allowing us to have this wonderful program of Krishna Kirtan. Joy Nitai.
Joy Nitai.
Joy Nitai.
Joy Nitai.
Joy Nitai.
Joy Nitai.
Hare Krishna.